Okay, this is my first time reviewing a show. The Last of Us Season 2 is here. It's done. We got the full package now, so we can go ahead and review the shits. I got 7 good things and I got 7 bad things. And then at the end, I got some rapid fire shits. And then after that, I'm gonna talk about the next season. I played the game, so I'm gonna have like a little spoiler warning for the people who didn't play the game, but they watched the show. If you didn't watch the show or play the game, spoilers, all right? I don't even know why you here for it. I know I don't really review shows and shit, but I figure since it is gaming, technically, I got some thoughts that I just want to get out. I don't have The Last of Us 1 or 2 installed, and I'm not about to install that shit. So I'm gonna try to find the most accurate game close to The Last of Us, I guess. I'm gonna go ahead and get this shit started off with the good things. My boy, Pedro Pascal, bro the GOAT, he can do no wrong. He carried the show. That's just point blank period. Every single time that he was there, he carried the show. Even when bro got clapped, he still carried the show. Like, no matter what, anytime you saw Joe on the screen, he's carrying. I know people tired of seeing his face. Bro, he is a good actor, bro. We need to stop doing that. We be actually having good actors and then get mad when they get casted. Bro, he got casted. Not just because he's popular, but he a good actor. He a good actor, bro. Like, I'd rather Pedro Pascal than somebody who literally cannot act for shit. I don't get the Pedro Pascal hate. You do see his face a lot, but at the same time, I mean, that ain't his fault. Anytime that he had to do like an emotional scene, when he start crying, bro, he just carries. The talk after the dance, which I'm gonna get into that more, but body that scene, that might be one of his best scenes in the entire show. You got to see more of Joe, what Joe probably was like before the first outbreak. Seeing him be more family oriented and just being more happy and just caring for people more, I really do fuck with that. Seeing that in Joe, even in the game, you didn't really get to see how Joe used to be or how Joe is in Jackson. Dina, okay, so every single thing that I said about Joe, I'm taking that shit back. Joe is fucking ass. He's the worst. He's one of the worst characters in the game, actually. Dina, though? I don't even have any notes down. I have notes for literally everything else. I don't have any notes for Isabella Marcet. It's all up in the mind. It's all up in the mind. But she's like what Ellie was supposed to be, which I'm gonna get into that. Isabella Marcet, she killed it. Oh my god, bro, like, I'm fucking blushing right now even talking about the shits. In the game, Dina was cool as shit. Like, don't get it twisted. Dina was the homie. Dina was cool as shit. But Dina in the show, to me, so much better. So much better. Again, Isabella Marcet, like, I'm being so dead ass. It was meant to be. Me and her the same age. Like I said, y'all need to give me some clout, bro. We climbing up the ranks, but we need to climb up the ranks a little bit faster, because you feel me? I don't need nobody trying to take my spot. Once I get on, again, once I get on, Dina is my ball. Isabella Marcet is my ball, bro. Hold me to that. I'm about to manifest that shit.
I got too many hoes, but they ain't you. You like to put that shit in your nose, but I still love you. Be doing shit that nobody knows. In the streets they be thinking you a lady, but at home.
The Jackson fight, I thought that was really well done. The stakes was high. It literally felt like I was watching a different show. It was like seeing a whole deleted scene of a game or some shit. They killed that shit, bro. I like that we was able to see more of Jackson as a place. We got to see people there and how they live. I like the whole voting shit, having a committee, and they had a structure, and I really did fuck with that. We got to actually see it because we just saw that everybody was chilling in Jackson in the game, but having scenes of them really working shit and how they really run things there, I think this shit dope. Again, back to the fight, barricading shit and then throwing the barrels and then shooting the barrels and the barrel setting on fire and then they shoot at him. Tommy was hard scoping, not gonna lie. He gotta get some points off of that. As a sniper, I feel let down from Tommy. Tommy, we don't hard scope. We don't hard scope, bro. Tommy versus the bloater. He gets some more points back from that though, because that shit was fire. I don't know why bro backed up in the corner, because you really ain't have to. And I also don't know why, bro, you should have had more weapon. Why you just got the flamethrower? You should have like 2 pieces on your side, bro. This is The Last of Us. Where's the trip bombs at, bro? You could have had something. If you would have weakened them out by the fire, even though the fire is done and his back is against the wall, could have had 2 pistols, Max Payne, and beep, 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 bop, 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 bop. He could have been letting shit loose. He really could have Swiss cheesed this shit if you would have had akimbo pistols on him. Nope, you just sitting there cowering in fear. and we gonna get to you cowering in fear, Tommy. We gonna get to that. Episode 6, the Ellie birthday montage episode story thing. I like how that was done. I like how that was done a lot. It was really good. Kind of confused when it first started because I didn't understand what they was going with the whole Joe's backstory. I didn't realize that was Joe at first. Having that little backstory, having him bring that line back up at the end of the episode, I thought that was really well done. This is just Joe carrying. Again, this is my favorite episode in the whole entire season. I like how they structured it. 15th birthday, 16th birthday, 17, it just keeps going on and on. First, I was a little confused, but now I'm like, nah. I kind of like how they doing this. The talk at the end. Even though I do feel weird about that placement because we didn't really get to know that they had that talk the end of the game, and I'm not sure how that's going to pay off. I'm not sure. And they combine the scenes, which I didn't think I would like at first, because I realized that they was combining the scenes, getting the truth out of Joe, but then also them having that talk when Joe was crying, bro. But when he just kept nodding his head, did you kill the Fireflies? Did you kill Marlene? And he just kept nodding his head, and like nothing was coming out but tears. Like he wasn't saying shit. Beautiful. He's just a goat. He's just a goat. If somebody do their job that good, of course they gonna get casted in a billion things, bro. Like it's not his fault. Jesse. I thought Jesse was cool. I know a lot of people are not liking Jesse because his relationship with Ellie, it seems like they don't really like each other. But I'ma defend Jesse. Not right now, but there's a lot of things I'ma get to. To be honest, I think that he's a lot cooler in here than the game. He was like chill, laid back, but like even though I feel like Jesse is the same thing here, but man, I'm really trying not to like spoil the bad shit that I want to talk about. But still had like his character intact. But you know, just rough him out a little bit. Rough him out a little bit. The stalkers / infected. Besides the emotional scenes in the show, the infected are the best parts. When we first saw the stalkers, I thought that shit was dope. They was actually really terrifying because you really don't know what they're thinking. And I actually kind of somewhat forgot that they exist. For a second, I was just like, wait a minute, who are they? And I was like, wait, I forgot they did have types in the second one. When Ellie and Dina was trapped in the place and there was like a shit ton of stalkers just stalking them. Prosthetics and the makeup and shit like that with the clickers. I just think that they really do look good. The bloaters look good. Everything when the infected is on the screen, they look the part. They really do look the part. They look the part. They move the part. They are the part. Them bum rushing the subway, I thought that shit was dope. The Jackson fight again, they killed that shit. They was bodying. And my last good point is the one-to-one scenes. I like that we are getting a lot of scenes pulled straight from the game, because some things you just don't need to change and they're just perfect how they are. Ellie singing to Dina, the Ellie birthday scene, Abby crawling beside the gate, Nora's death, the dance, the talk after the dance, and I know there's even more that I'm probably missing, but they was just done really good, especially the Abby crawling. I thought it was done just a little bit better just because it just seemed like it took even longer for her to get to the end. The infected, his hands was literally going through the gate and he was just pushing his hand through the shit. That shit was disgusting. Those accurate scenes pulled straight from the game, I thought that was really good, and I'm glad that they kept a lot of those intact. Okay, the bad stuff. Woo! There's a lot. Ellie. Now, I'm not going to be mean. I'm not going to be one of those Bella Ramsey haters and be like the chopped of us and she ugly and all of that. I'm not doing that. Even though she does not look the part. If y'all motherfuckers is worried about some attractiveness, bro, that's what we got Dina for. Not that y'all should be looking anyway because that's my ball, but still, I'm just saying, I do feel like she should have been recast. I watched season 2 right after rewatching season 1. So when I finished the season finale of season 1 and then literally the next episode, I went straight into season 2 episode 1 and seeing no type of change in Ellie's face, and she literally looks like that same 14-year-old girl again. It really did throw me off, and she did really good in season 1. Bella Ramsey hate this shit, even though it was there in the first season. It was not like this. She does play a good little girl Ellie. Her birthday scenes, she did good. Adult Ellie, not so much. Leading up to season 2, I was kind of getting a little worried. Having her carry the rest of the Last of Us story, that could be bad. Her being the face of The Last of Us now. It's no longer Joe. She is The Last of Us. I was worried, and my worries have came true. I don't like this immature, goofy shit that she on, bro. That's another thing why it's really hard to take her serious, because she don't look intimidating, and she looks like a kid. But then when you also have someone who looks like a kid act like a fucking kid, it's not gonna look good. I was watching some of these episodes with my family. I was telling them she's too immature, and they're like, well, she's 19. 19-year-olds are still immature. Not like this. Not like this. Especially not a 19-year-old like Ellie growing up in a life like this. No 19-year-old is gonna be like this. None. Her and Dina trying to like sneak up on an infected, slitting her throat or whatever, yelling I'm immune, making goofy jokes, acting like she's the dummy of the group, and like they kind of wrote her off like she's a dummy. Ellie is supposed to be dark, miserable, depressed, intimidating, rough, violent. None of that is here. None of that is here. And the times where they do try to make her seem like she about to be on her shit, I don't believe her at all. Her face really just is not believable. It just doesn't work. I don't take her serious to be able to really get shit done. And plus, they haven't even shown her do shit. Yeah, we haven't really seen her catch bodies on some real shit like she did in the game. Anytime she is like holding somebody at gunpoint, she just got like this blank stare. It don't seem like she's angry and like, yeah, I'm about to Swiss cheese your shit like she did in the game. I don't know, she just looked geeked the fuck out. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but she just looks zoned out, her eyes wide open. We haven't seen her do anything. In the game, Ellie already caught like 50 bodies. She already got her hands dirty. Here, I don't know why they're trying to soften her out, especially if they follow how the story ends. It's not gonna pay off the same way. It's just not. We haven't seen any combat, anything to really prove that Ellie can really beat somebody's ass and really get down and dirty and throw hands. She fought that one big dude, which nobody believed that shit. That big ass dude not getting bodied by that Ellie. No. Her emotional parts though, because I do not think that she's a bad actor. I don't. Her emotional scenes, like her crying after Joe died and her waking up in the hospital crying, her going into Joe's house, touching on his jacket, those scenes, she does really good. But when it's time to be about that action, the shit is a flop. Every single time. She always sounds like she whining and complaining. Bro, if I was in the world, I'd tell her to shut the fuck up so quick, bro. I'll be like The Weeknd. Shut the fuck up. As soon as she says some shit, try to get on somebody's case, which gets to my point about Jesse. Everybody mad about, oh, Jesse don't act, we don't get to see the friendship in Ellie and Jesse. Well, if Ellie's acting like that, then nah, fuck her. Jesse right. Every single thing that Jesse said, he cooked her shit every single time. He's always cooking Ellie on some shit. And I'm glad. Even when he came and saved them, he made sure to let him know, guess who was here to save your ass? Ellie was talking mad ruthless, and if Jesse was on some friendly shit, that shit would have pissed me off, bro. Why you let her talk to you like that? She not even right. And she not cool. Like, you just come off like you wanting to complain, and so I'm not gonna take your shit serious anyway. Ellie would not care about some random ass Scar getting bodied by the WLF. She wouldn't. He's just a kid. The motherfucker look older than you. What are you talking about? Just a kid. Like, I understand if it was like some toddler, like that one Scar, which I'm gonna get to, but this is like a grown ass man, bro. And you already know how they get down here. You know not to trust anybody. You know that the kids is not innocent either. Ellie would feel some type of way, especially if it was a younger kid. Ellie in the game, she wouldn't have tried to save the kid or some stupid shit. And plus it wouldn't even make any sense because they're outnumbered. She would definitely feel some type of way if some little ass kid got shot up. This grown ass dude that y'all trying to make seem like he a kid, and then it goes back with the toddler. Your dumb ass over here trusting kids, and what the kid wants you to do, he wanted your shit gone, bruh. Dumbass. Why would you do that? You over here trusting kids. Why are you trusting kids in the world of The Last of Us? You should have known that shit from, wait a minute, the first season, because the first season had little kids. People are attacking Bella Ramsey and Ellie. It's not her fault. It's the writers, Craig Mason and Neil Druckmann. I don't know what y'all was smoking, bro. Y'all cooked the shit out of Ellie. She the main character. The main character never gets this type of treatment. This shit is crazy. This one is where I really feel the most passionate. This is the real main reason why I'm making this shit. So, Tommy. On my notes, I have in all capital letters, Tommy is a bitch. Because he is. Tommy is the biggest bitch of the show. Tommy in The Last of Us is one of my favorite characters because he's a sleeper pick. Nobody really thinks that he about that life. You don't really get to see anything about what he did and shit like that. You only heard stories of it, and most of the time you only heard it from Joel. And of course Joel, he gonna try little boy Tommy like, yeah, I had to take care of us. I'm the reason why you survived type shit. I'm the one that was getting down and dirty in the trenches protecting the fort. It was me.
You want some gear? Sure. But I ain't taking that girl off your hands.
This is how you gonna repay me, huh?
Repay you?
For all those goddamn years I took care of us.
Took care? That's what you call it? I got nothing but nightmares from those years.
You survived because of me.
It wasn't worth it.
I bring you the cure from mankind, and you wanna play the pissy little brother.
We ain't back in Boston. You lay your hands on me again, it won't end well for you.
Having Tommy finally get to show his ruthlessness, I was looking forward to that. But Tommy ain't killed nobody. He's not ruthless. His brother just died and you over here talking about family and the community and shit? This ain't even Tommy. Let me get people into perspective, because Abby, she started the infected horde. Because of her dumbass being so thirsty to hunt for Joel, her dumbass end up tripping and she caused all the infected to invade Jackson. She then pulled up on your turf and killed your brother in front of your somewhat niece, killed Jesse, and now when we finally see your ass, Abby got your ass bitched out on the floor. He's the biggest bitch I've ever seen in my entire life. In the game, all the bodies that Dina and Ellie was finding, that was Tommy. That was Tommy putting in work. Tommy was going crazy, bro. Already at Seattle before Ellie and Dina even got on the horse. Tommy was already there killing shit. And now he like, oh, well, it's gonna have to be okay, but Abby being able to live, are we gonna be okay with that? You know, we gotta protect the community. You know, I have a kid. Now, they could redeem him. They could redeem him. Spoiler alert, we're gonna be on Abby's story. So maybe we get to see shit from her perspective and he was actually putting in work and it's gonna be in her shit, but I kinda doubt it. I kinda doubt it. Another reason why I make this one. The therapist. I know her name. I don't give a fuck because I don't like her. Why is she here? Why did we need her? She is literally the worst character in the entire show, bro. I'll take Abby over her any day. The character is dumb as hell. She's stupid. I don't like the bitch. I'm glad your husband died. Fuck Eugene. We smoked Eugene pack. She really did not have to be there. I don't know why they felt like she was that important to where like, yo, we have to write her in the show. Every time she was there, I just rolled my eyes like, what dumbass snarky shit you about to say now? You just here just to be here. And your bitch ass husband died. Joe should have shot that motherfucker on sight. Soon as he saw that bite, pop, kablam. Go over here talking about some, oh, hold your hand now, count the 10. No, shoot his shit. That's the rules anyway. What if he start turning as soon as they get to Jackson and he start crashing out, biting everybody and shit like that? Now everybody died. No, delete his shit from his shit right now. Ellie over here talking about, you swore. Like, bro, if I was Joe in that moment, I would have hit that motherfucker with the meanest trick shot ever. Then I would have pulled out a pistol and mag dumped this shit. I thought that they was gonna have Eugene find out about Ellie being immune or some shit and then Joe had to kill him that way. That would have been way more smarter. It would have heightened the stakes a little bit more to why Ellie would have felt bad. They could have did something with that. To me, that's a missed opportunity to just have him be infected and then Joe lied. The story was rushed. It was really rushed. I don't know why they rushed it. A lot of scenes I felt like they could have just fleshed out a little bit more and they just didn't. The scene with Ellie getting washed up on the shore in scarred territory, and then they ended up leaving her because I guess the wolves was starting to attack them or something. And then she just got up and then went back to find Abby. The whole entire scene was pointless and it was there for no reason. And that wasn't even in the game. This is just like the therapist. Not only did you change something that didn't need to be changed, but the change literally offered nothing. Spores. Even though I do like Spores, why did they bring him in now? I know they probably had to do it because of Nora's death. The thing that's crazy is that if y'all would have did this shit in the first season, we wouldn't have to waste a whole introduction on building up the Spores. We wouldn't have to do that. If y'all would have introduced that shit in the first season, we wasted time when y'all could have just already had that shit established already. the community scene, the voting and shit. I thought that that was cool at first, and then I realized that it was kind of drawn out, the scene a little too much, and then I don't like it even more because it took away from the season. Instead of focusing on that voting shit and writing a letter, they could have been past this shit and fleshed out more of something else. This scene didn't need that much treatment. I do like that the community in Jackson gets some type of recognition in what they doing, but this was way too overboard for no reason. And the changes, there's a lot of things that they changed that I just do not like at all. First season, a lot of the changes that they made, I really like. The Bill and Frank episode in the first season, that's one of my favorite episodes. Pause. Sam being deaf, I thought that that was a good change. Like, they made a lot of good changes. They really did. Here, most of the changes, they dropped the ball. Again, the therapist, Tommy acting the way that he did, Dina being there instead of Tommy and Joe's death, it gives Tommy more of a reason to hunt down Abby since he wasn't there to save his brother. Ellie finding out that Dina's pregnant, I'm going to be a dad. Like, I thought that shit was stupid. Even if they didn't have that gonna be a dad line, Ellie being happy at this shit is dumb as hell. In this moment, she's supposed to be like, bro, you're a liability. You gonna end up slowing me down because I can't be protecting a pregnant woman and I gotta deal with Abby at the same time. Ellie started getting mad at Dina. Why didn't you say anything before? It's stupid to me. I just don't like that. And Mel's death, I'm gonna get to that again. I just don't like how it was an accident. I don't like that. I feel like it would have been better if Ellie did it on purpose. Even though Ellie still feels the guilt, at the end of the day, you can still be like, well, it was an accident. It was an accident. With Ellie in the game, that wasn't an accident. Like, she stabbed her shit, digged the knife in her shit. She was cooked. That shit is crazy that she hit a collateral though. That shit is crazy. That's a Call of Duty clip right there. That is crazy, I will say. All right, and now I'm gonna get to the rapid fire. Old man Seth, my boy Seth, man. Look, I fuck with Seth. I think he was a lot more fleshed out here. I know Ellie mad at him, you know, for saying what he said, but like, bro, look, man, cut my boy some slack. He trying to show that, like, yo, my bad, bro. Something about Seth, he just cool as shit. Abby, I didn't really get to talk about Abby that much, but as far as the actress, she's doing good. She's doing good. I feel like she would be a good Ellie, but she's a good Abby. She looks like Abby to me. She's not buff, and I don't like that. I know since they nerfed Ellie, they probably had to nerf Abby. Abby being buff is a part of her character. You kind of need that. It shows how much she was ready and willing to make sure that she was on point, so when the time did come to face Joe, she'll be ready. Again, Dina, bro. Dina, she's just... Man, I'm trying to tell you, bro, like, anytime Dina on the screen, bro, she is just... I forgot bro's name, but the leader of the WLF, Jeffrey Wright, he the GOAT. To be honest, I really don't remember anything about his character in the game. He was a side character. He didn't really get a lot of shit, so I can't really compare him to how he was in the game versus how he is in the show. I really just don't remember that much about him. I don't know why, I just don't. The times that he did pop out, he did a good job. Jeffrey Wright, a good actor, that's the guy. The I'm gonna be a dad scene. This shit is corny. This shit is stupid. This shit is cringe. And again, I'm glad the boy Jesse was there to be on her shit like, yo, I gotta get me and my kid. You over here talking about some I'm gonna be the dad. That ain't your kid. You the baby mom's girlfriend. What are you doing? She acting like Jesse was a deadbeat. Jesse right there. And I'm glad that Jesse was there. Let me get me and my kid out of Jackson because you put me and my kid and my baby moms in trouble. I like that. I rock with Jesse. Mel's death. Shit was sad. Shit was sad. I don't know. It's really hard for me to tell because I like how more sad that it was. Mel trying to get Ellie to help her get the baby out. I'm glad that we got to see that scene, but at the same time, I don't like that it was an accident. Speaking of saddest moments in the show, my boy Joe. My boy Joe's death. Little thing about Joe's death. When I first played the game, I was speechless. I didn't know what to do, what to think. And I remember after I beat the game, years after the game came out, I couldn't go back and watch that shit again. I would have videos pop up, so-and-so reacting to Joe's death or something. I can't watch it. Now, you know, it is what it is. Here, they did a good job. It was mostly accurate how it was done. Joe went out like a G. It was a good one-to-one scene. I think they did good. I don't know what I would rate this, but it's definitely the definition of mid. It's definitely mid. There's a lot of high moments, but there's also a lot of low moments. Spoilers for people who didn't play the second game. They need that scene where that big ass dude punched the shit out of Lev and bro got hit into the garage door. Please have that scene in there. 1-to-1. It needs to be just like that. That bro need to get bodied on that shit. I don't like the ending. I just think that the ending was not good. It's just, I wish they would have left off on Abby supposedly shooting Ellie and then the screen went black and they would have just ended there, laying the foundation of what they're going to do for Abby. I wish they didn't do that, just because for the people who didn't watch it, now they're like, oh, we gotta watch Abby now. For us, we got to just play the game like it was nothing. But like them, they got a 2-year wait now of just this shit. So I wish they would have left off and then have the introduction of season 3 be about Abby. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end this shit here. They gotta do better, bro. They gotta do better. Of course, thoughts, feedback. Also, I want to say too, I think that this is going to be like a new series that I do, talking about shows or movies that has to do with video games. But I'm only going to do the ones that I'm well versed in. Since I know about The Last of Us and the story, it makes sense for me to do this. Same thing when the Mortal Kombat movie comes out. When that comes out, of course. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here. I'm out.